Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host, Nicole Gaffney, and we're here today with Chef Francesco Martorella, along with Chef Angela Ferri-Irwin, both of Jansen Restaurant. Thanks for being here, both of you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It's great to have you both here. So what are we making today?
Today we are making a flourless chocolate cake with a chocolate ravioli, dulce de leche, and a whipped ganache.
You guys know the key to my heart, which is chocolate. So why don't we get started?
Okay, so here for the flourless chocolate cake, we have our butter and our chocolate melting together.
Which smells unreal right now.
And while this is finishing up, we are going to whip our egg whites, or our egg yolks, I'm sorry.
Do you want me to keep stirring this?
Sure.
Okay.
And we have some sugar and some cornstarch. We add cornstarch to flourless chocolate cake because it doesn't have flour, which is kind of acts as that glue.
Yeah.
So in this case, the cornstarch will help with that binding and kind of keep the cake together a little bit more.
Gives it some stability. So how much do you need to whip these? Are you looking to get them really light and airy, or?
Yes. The flourless chocolate cake, I'm going to fold everything into it gently. So we want to wait for this to become a pale yellow and very thick. Okay.
Now, why is it important that we're melting the chocolate and butter over a double boiler?
If we have the chocolate directly against the flame, we're going to risk burning it, which doesn't really give a great taste.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is more helpful to do it over a double boiler. It's a little bit safer for the chocolate.
Okay.
So we're all melted here, and we can just pull this right off onto our...
Thank you, Chef.
You're welcome.
About how long does it take for the egg yolks?
Just a couple minutes. Okay. Not very long at all. See, we're kind of getting this becoming very pale.
And how many egg yolks did you start with?
7.
That's a lot of yolks.
Yes. Yeah, it helps with the richness.
Now, are you going to use the equal number of whites, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Equal.
Perfect.
Yep. We just separate the eggs and.
Because when a recipe calls for like more egg whites or more egg yolks than the alternative, I never know what to do with the leftovers.
Right.
Beautiful.
All right.
And now you're the pastry chef over at Jansen.
I am.
Which is awesome. How do you like it over there?
I love it. It's great. We have a good time together.
I bet you do.
When you work so much with each other all the time, it becomes, you're kind of like family.
Yeah, totally.
She's extremely talented, very young, organized. She's really
Thank you.
up and coming. She's really awesome.
Yeah, so we're just going to lightly fold this in together, and then I am going to step away and clean this bowl so we can get our whites going.
Okay, perfect. So in the meantime, why don't we start over here? You're going to make some chocolate pasta.
Yeah, we're going to make some chocolate pasta today. We wanted to do something kind of different, set us apart a little bit with what she's doing.
Well, I love your savory pastas, so I imagine that your sweet pasta is going to be equally
It is.
as
It's
good.
actually a basic, the recipe, it's tested, we've tested it, it works.
Do you add sugar to it?
I add sugar, it's brute cocoa powder,
I mean, look how
eggs,
dark this is.
and durum flour.
This over?
Yeah, sure.
This is like, it's black. It's not even chocolate colored. It's so dark.
And so it's the brute cocoa powder with the eggs and then the flour mixed with it.
What does brute cocoa powder mean?
Brute, it means no sugar. It's very, very bitter.
Okay.
So. But with the sugar and the dough and everything, you'll see the sweetness will come out. And then we have a hand dip ricotta, which is an artisan ricotta done by hand.
That in-house?
No, we buy that. But we mixed a little bit of maple sugar with it and some vanilla
nice touch.
and some real small chocolate chips in there.
I would eat that just on its own.
Yeah, it's really good.
Do you have egg or
wanna try
anything
it?
in there?
No egg,
it?
nothing. You want to try it? You can
love to try it.
Give me a little spoon and I'll let you try it.
A spoon? Just, I'll put it on my finger.
Yeah, your hands are clean.
Yeah, they're very clean.
There you go. Yep. All right, so basically we got the machine here. We're just going to work the dough down just like a regular pasta, just the same way. So we'll need to incorporate a little bit of flour with it as well.
Okay.
And you can see how rich in chocolate
It really
is.
is.
Yeah. The main thing you have to worry about is like it's a little sticky sometimes with the chocolate and everything. But
Now, do you ever flour the roller?
Yeah, I'm going to flour the dough actually.
And this is the semolina?
That's durum semolina flour, extra fancy.
Does that make a difference besides it being extra fancy?
Yeah, it's extra fine.
Okay.
So you don't have it won't break up on you. You can get the dough real nice and fine.
Did you ever do this by hand?
No.
It's a lot of work.
Not when you're making 150 raviolis.
No, for sure. Now, is this on the menu over at Jansen?
It's not on a menu, but it might be after today. I don't know. I hope not. but it might be.
How about the flourless chocolate cake? Is this on the menu?
That is on the menu.
It was on our winter menu. It
Okay.
might make a comeback.
All right. I like that. So you change the menu really frequently over
Change the
here,
menu
so-
like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
1 or 2 items.
So what do you have happening over here now?
So I have our egg whites in here, and we just want to kind of wait for them to get a little bit frothy, turn a little bit white, rather than how you can kind of still see the yellow of the white.
Okay. We're looking for stiff peaks or?
We're looking for soft peaks. When we're folding it together, we want it to kind of be seamless without having to overmix it. So when the whites are a little bit more stiff, you tend to have to be a little bit more rough.
How do
We
you
wanna
know when
avoid
you're at
that.
soft peaks versus stiff peaks?
I can show you a little trick when it's done.
All right,
You
perfect.
can kind of pull your whip up and kind
Okay.
of see. So we're just going to let it go a little bit.
Okay,
And then
cool.
we're going to gradually add our second amount of sugar.
So you've kind of split the sugar in two. Half of it went in here with the yolks
Yes.
and then half in there.
Stay tuned for more of the Chef's Kitchen.
Let the nation's top chefs show you how to use gourmet ingredients, inspire you to try this season's freshest selections to make you a top chef in your own home.
So this is beautiful,
This
nice
is,
and thin.
Yeah, well, you can't get it too thin because
Okay.
of the chocolate. It's not.
What number do you take this down to?
They're all different, but I took it down to 5.
Okay.
I'll normally take it down to 6 or 7
Yeah.
to get it real fine. So we're just gonna put a little bit of the mixture on there.
All right.
Small amount.
So not too much. You don't want to overfill them.
Not too much because we're gonna make a smaller ravioli. We're gonna use a smaller cutter
Okay.
today, just to, add a little dimension to our dessert.
Now, would you be serving these together, or are these going to be two standalone?
I mean,
desserts.
you could serve this on your own with a sauce, but I think it goes better if you could combine it with something.
Why not? Put them all together. I heard that mixer slow down, so I have to see what's happening here.
All right. So this is very soft.
Okay.
You can kind of, it's not holding its shape
Right.
by any means.
Right.
And that's how we want it for this recipe.
All right, so that's a long ways away from meringue. Pretty much, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You would have to continue to mix this for a while.
Okay.
for it to
So
be
you add
meringue.
them back into the chocolate mixture with the yolks.
Yep.
Great.
And then we are just going to.
So you fold it.
Yes.
You have to be kind of delicate in this
Yes.
step.
Yeah, you don't want to deflate the egg whites too much because they're not whipped all that much.
Okay.
And this is just, you can kind of see that it's starting to gain some volume.
Yeah. What would happen if the whites were whipped a lot heavier? Like, let's say you walked away and forgot about them and they became stiff peaks.
You would end up having to mix it a lot more and a little bit more rough, so you wouldn't get as much of a delicate cake.
Ah, okay.
It would be a little bit more dense.
Okay. That's a really great tip.
So I just kind of keep my spatula almost in one spot and just move the bowl.
Also a great tip.
That's kind of how I find it to be the best. And then here we
That
have...
looks pretty much
Yeah.
homogeneous.
Yep. We don't have any streaks or anything like that.
Perfect.
And then we're going to go right into our springform.
Now, is it really important that you use a springform pan here?
I would say that it is because it's much easier to unmold when the sides can come away.
Right.
I use some cake frames and things like that at
Okay.
work, but this is probably the best for if you want to make it at home.
Great. So no butter, no greasing of the pan at all.
Nope.
Now, what do we bake this at?
We bake this at 350 degrees.
And how long does it take?
About 40 minutes.
So not too bad at all.
Yeah, it will start to, looks very shiny right now, and then it'll start to have like more of a matte kind of look,
Okay.
and then it'll start to crack a little, and you kind of know you're getting close.
All right, perfect. So let's get back to the ravioli here.
Yes. Okay. So we have the dough rolled out. We put our filling in. So I just have a little bit, just a tiny bit of egg yolk with
Okay.
water. There's more water than egg yolk, and we're just going to just blot it a little bit, just to seal it so it doesn't open up.
Now, are we going to put another sheet over top of these, or are we going to
No,
do
we're just
like a
going to
fold
fold.
over?
I'm going to fold that
Okay.
over.
I like that little technique you have working there.
Yeah, because if you, we don't want to waste too much. This
cool.
really expensive. The ricotta is expensive.
Everything's expensive.
Chocolate.
That cocoa powder,
yes,
right.
Food is very
I'm
expensive
sure
today.
you use really good eggs.
Farm fresh eggs from the farm.
It makes a
We
big
get a lot
difference in the end product, though.
Yeah, we have a farm right near this restaurant, Erdenheim Farm, that, we buy a lot of, tomatoes. We even use their lamb, their beef. So it's right next to the restaurant. It's really nice.
Well, I think one thing you're absolutely known for in your cuisine and over at Jansen is just using the best possible quality ingredients that you can get your hands on, not skimping even a little bit.
You can't go wrong if you use good
It's
products.
true. I mean, not to downgrade your technique, because
Yep.
we all know that you have some of the best technique in Philadelphia, really in the country.
Well,
But-
you know, it's really about the products. So if you start
Sure.
with good products and you do things, the basic things right,
Right.
you're
You're
going to have a
absolutely
great
right.
dish. So
But give yourself a little credit too.
yeah. Well, that comes into play with what you combine and how you come up
Sure.
with the dishes is very, very important.
Plenty of people can screw
Yeah,
up.
we have a
some
lot of
good
talent in the
ingredients.
kitchen between Angela,
Absolutely.
David, me. We have a great young staff. So we just want to seal them a little bit.
Can I try one?
Yeah, absolutely. Seal them up.
So you just want to go through with your fingers and
Yeah,
make
just
sure
go
that
with your
it's
finger, just like a regular ravioli.
not so they don't like explode.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the brush, and what we're going to do is brush a little bit at a corner like this.
Why is that?
And we're just going to turn it over like
okay.
that, and then squeeze it like that.
All right.
And then I
nice.
have some semolina here.
a
Semolina is a little different.
Okay.
It's,
What is the difference?
Semolina is a little coarser grade, so it's Durham semolina, but it's like coarser. So
Okay.
what we'll do is just put it on a plate, just so it doesn't stick, because the chocolate's a little bit wet.
Sure.
And everything. The first time we tested it, we made an adjustment to it, so
Did I do that right?
it's looking pretty good. Yeah, it looks great, like a little hat. It's like a little hat, little chocolate
okay, wait,
hat.
I did it a little different.
And Angela's going to put her
gonna
superb
fix-
sauce on top of it.
Well, what kind of sauce are we making?
Dulce de leche.
Yum.
Yes.
Are we ready
Delicious.
to start with that?
Yes. So
see.
this is actually very easy for at home, especially
Okay.
because it's just a can of sweetened condensed milk, and I usually just take the wrapper off, because when you drop it in the water, it gets like kind of wet over
Right.
time. And this is something that you want to do the day before, I would suggest,
Okay.
unless you have a lot of time, because ideally you want to cook this for about 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, wow, that long.
Yes. So you just drop it in your water, and it must be submerged in the water at all times.
Okay.
So I usually set a timer on my phone for like an hour, and then I come back and I flip it so that it
Okay.
cooks evenly. You come back and let it cool, I would say overnight, and then you have this
Wow.
consistency. It's like
So
a
it
little
caramelizes and
Yeah,
oh, yum.
exactly.
And you just leave that as is. Do you do anything else to it? Add salt or any kind of?
bit. If you want like a
Accoutrement.
salted dulce, that would you could definitely add that in.
Nice.
I'm a little bit of a salt person, so I
Yeah,
probably
same.
would, but you certainly don't have to.
Oh, that's awesome. So simple.
Yes.
Who knew?
So simple.
We'll return with more from the Chef's Kitchen.
Watch the show The Chef's Watch, The Chef's Kitchen. Let the nation's top chefs show you how to use gourmet ingredients and share valuable trade secrets to make you a top chef in your own home. Watch The Chef's Kitchen daily to keep up with today's culinary trends and techniques.
And then next we're gonna get our ganache going. So I just have some heavy whipping cream here.
Okay.
And we're just gonna bring this to a boil. And then we're gonna I did a combination of milk and dark chocolate because I just prefer that combination.
Yeah, it's not as intense.
Right, it's not too dark, not too sweet. It's a little, it's
And
a
actually,
nice
that's a
combination.
great thing you bring up. What kind of chocolate did you use in the cake itself?
I used a dark chocolate.
Okay. And were we looking at like a 60, 70% or?
Yep.
Okay.
72. Yeah, so we're just gonna bring this to a boil and then we're gonna pour it over. And then this is, after it cools,
Yum.
our cream is to a boil now. We're just gonna pour this hot cream right over our chocolate.
Could you pour the chocolate into the bowl with the cream, or would that kind of mess it up?
You could, but you don't wanna continue to cook it because
Okay.
as I mentioned earlier with having the chocolate
burn.
directly over the, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so that melts really fast.
Oh yeah, the hot cream really,
Yum.
especially milk chocolate, it melts faster.
So is this going to be the sauce?
This is gonna be, I'm actually gonna whip the
Oh,
ganache, and then
okay.
we're gonna just quenelle a piece directly onto our flourless chocolate cake.
Now we're getting fancy. I like this.
He actually kept it simple for you today.
I know
He
you
can be
guys-
really technical.
Yeah. So this is cooled down completely, the one that you're
Yes.
whipping? Okay. So what does the whipping process actually do? Does that make it thicker, fluffier?
It's gonna incorporate air, so we're gonna get more of like a fluffier kind of.
Cool. I like like that. Well, tell me about
Angela's
the
really good.
restaurant.
The restaurant's been going great. I mean,
that's fantastic.
we've been busy all through the summer.
Amazing.
You know, so busy that I haven't had a vacation. I need a couple days off, David, if you're listening.
Yeah, David.
But no, it's been great.
How long have you been open now?
So I think it's like a year and 4 months.
Congratulations.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Still great. Great restaurant.
So happy for you guys.
Great
Cannot
clientele.
even tell you. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet you're in a great part of town.
Yep.
So happy for you guys.
Thanks.
So how long does this take to whip?
Just a couple minutes. You can already see the color.
Oh,
is,
big time.
Yeah, it's
It looks
getting
like
a lot
frosting.
lighter. Yeah.
Now, what's it going to look like when you know it's ready?
I'm kind of looking for a consistency
Okay.
thing. I'm looking for it to get a little bit more thick. We're
Okay.
getting close though.
All right, cool.
Here's our flourless chocolate cake after it comes out of the oven.
Yum. And this is cooled already?
Yes, this is completely cooled, and all I did when it came out of the oven was run a paring knife right around the edges so that it drops evenly.
So you want to do that while it's still hot?
Yes.
Okay.
And it kind of falls down a little bit, right?
Yes.
After it cools down.
Well,
Because
that's normal. You want that to happen.
there's like a leavening process with the air from
Sure.
the whites.
Exactly. And then so we just do that so that it drops all together rather than sticking to the sides and the center drops.
Sure. Okay. That's good to know.
So
I love how it
we're
gets that
looking pretty good
crackly
on
crust
this.
on top too. Nice.
How do you know when it's whipped enough? Oh, it's like peaking?
It's lightened
Yeah.
so much in color.
Yeah, nice.
I just wanted to dip my finger in there. It's so bad, but I'll refrain.
I think we can get those going.
You want to start
Dropping the
cooking
raviolis? Yeah, sure. How many should
Are
we
you
cook
going to use
off?
this little?
Yeah, I
all
can
of
do it.
them? Are you
All of
kidding
them?
me?
Okay.
Come on.
Sure.
Have you been to the Chef's Kitchen before? I think you know us by now. They
Yeah.
almost look like fortune cookies.
Yeah.
And how long will these take? Just a couple minutes?
Just like 2 or 3 minutes.
Cool. So the filling's going to warm up. The outside's just going to
Yep.
cook
You just
through.
don't want to boil them too fast because
Okay, so leave it
they're
at
a little
more
delicate.
Of a, so is the center going to be still pretty thick, or is it going to get a little runny?
It'll be a little bit runny.
Nice.
Yeah, because the rigatto will heat up and the chocolate will melt inside of it. The little because the
Right.
chocolate's
Oh,
so small,
right.
so it'll kind of go with everything that Angela's serving.
Nice.
We can touch them too. See?
Do you flip them at all? Or?
Nah, I don't really
No.
play with them too much.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can kind of feel them. Feel a
Oh, yeah,
softness on
it feels-
Yeah, like they're cooked.
Exactly.
They don't really need to cook like a real ravioli, so they're
okay.
ready.
We'll be right back with more from the Chef's Kitchen.
Watch the show The Chef's Watch, The Chef's Kitchen. Let the nation's top chefs show you how to use gourmet ingredients, inspire you to try this season's freshest selections, and share valuable trade secrets to make you a top chef in your own home.
At this point, they're ready. I'm going to take them out.
So then you'll just kind of drain them on the plate.
Yeah, I drain them on a plate.
And so these aren't on the menu yet.
No, they're not on the menu yet, but
But they might be.
they might be. We might come up with something different for
Okay.
it.
How many would you serve in a portion for one dessert?
We probably would. It would be like more of a accoutrement, like adding it to something,
Okay.
like topping it, so you
Yeah.
have 2 different textures.
Right, right.
You know, because
Maybe for like,
it's pretty firm, the pasta at this
New
point.
Yeah.
Year's or something.
What did you say?
Maybe for New Year's or something.
Yeah, like New
That'd be
Year's, you did
awesome,
like a little
yeah.
dessert.
Okay.
All right, so we're good.
So
I think we're close.
I cut one already, yes.
Great.
So
Now, do you serve this cake slightly warm or do you like it chilled?
I like it chilled.
Nice.
It holds together better when
Yeah.
it's cold.
Just a slightly different texture.
So I like to use, I mean, you can use a pastry bag, you can use a Ziploc bag with a little pastry tip you can get at the
Okay.
craft store. I like to use my little spoon and I like it to be hot, so I'll
Okay.
just dip it right in there. And I just kind of do a little
Look at you.
quenelle. And then we can do like a little sauce. And again, you can get creative with how you want to plate. You can do some zigzags, you can do some dots like this.
cute.
And then,
Excuse me.
Francesco, would you like to put your,
Yeah, where would you like me to put it?
wherever you want,
Oh,
wherever you think
carte
looks
blanche.
good.
How about right there?
Beautiful.
Does that look good?
And then we're just gonna do a little dulce right on the
Nice.
top.
Little fleur de sel.
Little fleur de
Definitely with
sel.
the salt, yes. Why fleur de sel? Did you pick that for a specific reason?
It's just a little coarser, so when you eat it, you're going to really feel it.
crunch.
You'll have that little crunch to it.
Love it.
Looks
well,
great.
let's bring it over to the tasting table.
Looks
Yes.
great. How's it taste?
Let's find out. Beautiful. This looks so good.
It's a really
Give you
clean
both forks.
presentation.
It really is.
All her
It's always
presentations are really
gorgeous.
minimal and clean, and
That's
I love
what
that
I love
style.
about them.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Well, you know, we have great dessert wines at Jansen.
You do.
And I just tasted one the other day from Australia, and we should have brought it because you would have loved it.
There's
It was
always
really,
next
Yep,
time.
next time we'll bring it.
Gotta get into this cake first. I gotta get the ganache.
Get a little bit of everything.
It's so good. I mean, I knew it was gonna be so good. It's not like
It
it's
is
that much of a
delicious.
surprise. This chocolate ravioli, on the other hand, I have no
Here.
idea what I'm getting into.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Here, let me cut it. Here, get that piece right there.
Wow.
I'm gonna take that piece.
Here.
Good girl.
Go ahead, try it with all the filling. Kind of squirt it out.
Wow.
Good.
The ricotta's so good.
It's so good. And the dough is really tender.
It doesn't taste like pasta.
It doesn't taste like pasta. I'm trying to think of what it tastes like. It's almost like a chocolate crepe, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really nailing
I think that
it
that's
there, but-
probably,
But good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would think.
But it's whatever it is, it's delicious.
I'm glad you
I'm
enjoyed
a big
it.
fan of it. I'm gonna take another bite of the cake. Both of you, it's been
With
so
the
nice to
ganache.
have you guys on the show today. It's
It's
always a
been great.
pleasure.
Yeah,
You
thank
guys
you
are
so much.
welcome back anytime. You always bring
Thank
some
you.
fire with your food. We can't wait to have you back.
We'll definitely come back.
Thank you.
We'll see you at Jansen before that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Great.
We'll wait for
Thank
it.
you so much.
We love Steven. We love the whole crew here. It gives us a break from our daily routine to show people what we do every day, and it's just a great time.
We had a great time. I've been watching Tony Clark and Dave Jansen and all those guys on the show, so it's kind of cool to be among that gang.